Gotcha. So let's switch and let's talk about the dynamics of the city council. So I know a lot of people told me to make sure that I bring up, when they're watching the news, they're always seeing where you got these heated arguments, heated debates, but they're not getting enough detail. So could you shed light, or if you can, talk about that?
Over the past 2 years, it has been chaos. Normally, it's been like 5 Democrats, about 2 Republicans, and it switched 2 years ago where you have 5 Republicans and 2 so-called independents or Democrats that they labeled us as. Of the Republicans, there's kind of 2 factions in Lynchburg. There's like the mega Republicans, and then there's the regular Republicans, and those 2 factions don't get along. So again, it's been chaos. The philosophies are different. One thinks this, one thinks that, and those 2 are not meeting together. So it's been just total chaos over the past 2 years, and that friction. They were saying now Republicans have control. They can do this, they can do that. But the problem is you have 2 factions of the Republican Party. So it's been even more division. When we had 5 Democrats so-called to 2 Republicans, it has been horrible. I mean, just being in the meetings, it has been so much chaos. It's really sad.
Yeah,
name calling is horrible.
And I can only imagine in today's climate. So what steps do you take to try to foster a collaborative type of environment?
I try to continue to be the example. I try to be the sound voice. I try to work where I can, but also I work with 4 other people, with 3 other people, try to get them elected to city council, called Let's Work Better Together. That has been my drive, because some people are not going to change. I realize that. You come into an area and you say, oh, I could do this, I could do that. I could build a grocery store here, I could do that. But then you realize when you get there, look, it's not like that. You got to make certain changes. Yeah. So to make the change that we got to do, we got to elect different people that love our community, not about a political party, not about with a big R or a big D behind their name, but about an L, a love, that they love our community. And we have to do that. So we've got to elect people that love our community. It's not about a party you're a part of, but because I love my community, and that's why I'm voting that way. So we got to vote for people like Let's Work Better Together. Randy Smith in Ward 1, myself, Ward 2, Dr. James Coleman, Ward 3, April Watson, Ward 4. We've been running as a team because we care about our community. We've working since January, so we definitely love each other. So compared to what has the chaos in our city council, you got to have the people elected that appreciates one another, that respects one another, that's not going to call people names, that's going to love one another. And we get along so well because it's about our community. It's not about a personal agenda. It's not about this or that. It's about what's best for the citizens of Lynchburg. And that's what we got to do.
Yeah. So I know I've heard nothing but positive feedback about you, people that go to the city council meetings. So could you tell us how you handle those, heated moments, when they're attacking you or attacking some of the citizens?
I just pray, and I try to stay focused. In order to get things accomplished, you're going to have some struggles, and that's going to be given to you. So I look at this as the fire phase of life where we got to struggle to get there. Even though it's like political climate, my problem is I'm a people pleaser. So I like pleasing people. So being a politician, whatever you want to call it, in this kind of area, it's going to be hard because people are going to talk about you just to talk about you. No matter how good you are, no matter how much good you have done, they're going to talk about you just because you don't have the right initials. You're not an R, you're not a D. So they're going to dog you and talk about you. I don't care how you won every award possible in that community. You got doctorates, you got this, you foster children, you got this, you got that. But again, I don't like you because you weren't red today. Yeah. So they're going to find any reason. It has amazed me how mean and how cruel people can be. So for a person like me, who's like a people pleaser, that's really challenging being in a political arena and not to take it personal. So I have to really set myself back and have tough skin and just keep moving forward because I know it's for my community and I'm fighting for my community. So it's the part you got to take. I think about people like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Sojourner Truth, all the people, and Frederick Douglass, people that got beat, people that got attacked, people that got killed, like Emmett Till, because he was walking from a store, he got killed. Hung and drowned. It was just horrible how they mutilated his body. Again, people like that on a bus ride of freedom, just so people could vote. Buses got bombed. The 4 girls in Alabama church in Alabama, got attacked and bombed and blew up. Because again, the churches were being the forefront of the civil rights movement, so they attacking the churches. So again, I just think about all those people that what they had to go through. So I try to stay focused. And thank God that we are here at this point, but I can't give up now. We can't go back. We got to go forward.
Gotcha. So in what ways can city council improve the transparency and the communication to the public?
You know, one thing, our meetings are all open. Anybody can come to the meeting. They're live streamed. They're on Facebook. They're on, I think, maybe like a YouTube channel. So you can the channel, that cable station you can go to. So you can always look at all the areas. You can do FOIA requests to get some of our like emails. You can get FOIA requests, make more transparency. But again, they publish our agenda because it's a public body. They have to publish our agenda. They have to publish the notes. So it's really it's transparent. Avenues, so you can get any information you want. You can really get. You got to look at it. Go to the website. And you can pull down any information about that.
Gotcha. All right. So as far as your vision for for the future, just looking ahead, what is your vision for Lynchburg in the next several years to come?
Just continue to keep fighting for our school system, keep fighting for our community. And right now we're at a crossroads. We're able to close schools. They want to open schools. They want to build new schools. I want to make sure I'm at that table, make sure that voice is being heard about our school system, make sure our kids' needs are being at the forefront, not about, this or that, but our kids are being at the front. They're our future. Education is crucial. They shut down schools in Pennsylvania County and all that kind of thing. Make sure we don't have another Prince Edward County. Make sure we don't have another situation like that. So I'm going to keep fighting for that. Work on housing projects. I want to see, right now, the affordable houses is so hard, getting that. Rents like it's so high, $1,000 plus a month. I want to continue to work with nonprofit agencies like Rush Homes and the Beloved Community, the Lighthouse, Habitat for Humanity, continue to work with those areas. The Ramp try to build a homeless shelter. Again, renovated homeless shelter. So again, continue to work with those partners so we can have housing for our community. If it's temporary housing or long-term housing, work with all those avenues for our citizens. And then the third thing I'm going to do is really work on better wages. So work with better partnerships. Like Arriva is going to be building, hire 500 people. The starting salary was like $100,000. Make sure people in the community, especially Ward 2, they have a seat at their table and they have the training necessary for that. So we're using the Jubilee Avenue and then training programs to make sure we are at that table. We are training people for those positions to get them out of poverty, get them out of Section 8 housing, get them off of welfare, get into a better job, a better lifestyle that can sustain them for the rest of their lives and break those cycles of poverty.
All right. Now, what innovative ideas or projects, when you're reelected, would you like to see done that would improve the quality of life for the community?
The biggest thing, as I just mentioned, is going to be career programs and training programs. Because we got to get people, we did a poverty project some years ago, and you looked at the poverty rate was like 20%. And some people in the poverty don't want to improve. Some of them have like mental capacity where they can't really improve.
Yeah.
But then you have a portion of people that really want to get out of poverty, they want to do better. So finding that population of people that want to do better and make sure we have resources connected to them, not necessarily always use the city resources, but our community resources, and partnering together and bringing partnerships together so we can do that. We can reduce this poverty rate in our community.
Okay. All right. Now we just want to get into just your personal insight. So what advice can you give to individuals who aspire to take on leadership roles?
I did a project a couple years ago called A Seat at the Table. Again, just trying to show advice of how I did it. I'm always open to that, to show like the next, because I got to work on the next generation. Look at my age. I'm on the other side of the river. So I want to make sure people younger than me, like yourself and older, younger, are coming up here and see how you get on boards, how to be active in the community, how you can have a voice in the community. So again, sharing with what I've done and how I've done that and how I've got my seat at the table and how you get a seat at the table as well, and encouraging people, get on this board, get on that board. You can do for this. Start on the planning commission, start on the PTA advisory committee, and just get people, encouraging people to have a seat at the table and make sure they are voting. It's crucial.
Yeah, and I know you're a big man of faith and big man of God. And I know with politicians, sometimes it's hard to maintain a level of integrity and balance. But what is your advice to those who are in leadership who struggle with maintaining a level of integrity, and how do you advise they go about doing that?
I don't have to compromise. So I'm strong in my faith. I'm strong in what I do, even though they've called me all kind of names other than son and everything but a child of God. But I continue to have my integrity. I continue to have my voice. So I never have to compromise my standards. I do what's right. I just continue to do what's right because, God has placed me in this position. He's placed me in that seat. So I recognize that He placed me at Jubilee. He's given me the resource that we had to do what we've done. Again, I'm a seed sower. I'm a tither because I have seed sowed and sowed seeds. I'm a tither. The Lord has blessed my steps. The Lord has blessed my network. The Lord has blessed my territory. So again, because of that, I continue to honor God. And I wouldn't want to shame Him and doing things that's not pleasing in His sight. So that's number one, is my faith in God, because He has placed me in this position. So I cherish that role that He has placed me in, and I continue to honor Him.
So give me a personal story that you've, been through, a personal experience that led you to be a leader.
I think just the main thing was just seeing kids not being active in church. Some 30 plus years ago, seeing them sitting back in church, they didn't have like really cell phones back then, both so just talking about one another and just saying, I love God. And these kids are not accepting Him. These kids are not being active. The kids are not listening to the word of God. What can I do to change that? It's all started with me saying, being an example, and how can I get other people to be the voice or listen to the voice of God? And what avenue? It's not always preaching from the pulpit. Yeah. That's not always the avenue of ministry. The ministry avenue is taking them to a basketball game, take them to a basketball. I don't even play basketball, but take them to a basketball game, take them to a court, and then giving them food, and then talking about the Lord, talking about relationship with God. That's how it all started for me. So I continue that same avenue.
Okay. So what values guide you in making your decisions as a public figure?
The main thing is my relationship with the Lord. And my values is about relationship with God. So I have those Christian, my father called us saints, never really called us Christians, but the values of a saint that I continue to do and continue to have, that's the same thing that guides my principles, the same thing that guides my lifestyle. I'm doing what's best for the community, not about a personal agenda, but what's best for my community. We all, we take on the principles of Jesus. It's not about I. It's about all of us, and how it's not all about my wealth, how rich I can be, or build a bigger barn. But what can I do for my brother who's struggling, who's in poverty, who needs some lights, who needs a better place to stay? How can I support them? What services can I do to bring them out of that? And not necessarily talk about government resources, but community resources, and how we can pull our brothers up together. So how we can work together to do that.